Hi there, welcome to another week of Counter-Strike game and skin market update. This is Skinomics 2, and this video covers the 7th to 13th of October 2024. Let's dive right into the headlines. First, I want to quickly comment on the banning of both Discord and Steam community in Russia as shown in news reports on the right. These websites have been added to the blacklist of websites which had already included Instagram and Facebook. The reason why I wanted to touch on this topic is because Steam community includes the Steam market, and Russian players account for a significant portion of the player base, as shown in an old Leetify table on the bottom left. On the surface, this appears to be significant impacts for the market. However, China has banned Steam community since 2021, and the market has not been significantly impacted. This is because these restrictions can be easily circumvented by using a VPN or by using third-party marketplaces, so I just wanted to let my audience know that everything is probably fine. Next, stay on the topic of banning, Valve has banned many players who have exploited lobbies which allow them to farm credits for the Armory Pass. The players will be barred from selling or trading items away for a 1-year period, and many influencers were part of this ban wave, Arrow and Sparkles included. Although, I will not pay too much attention to this, as most of these players who cared enough to farm credits have alternative accounts anyway, and they are still allowed to purchase items meanwhile. I warned my Discord server a couple days prior to the ban, but if you have been affected, just sit tight for a year, it's not really a huge issue. Forging ahead, Sarah on Twitter has confirmed via email with Valve that the Armory Pass is not a temporary thing, which is what many people have suspected anyway. Hence, only the Desert Eagle and subsequent items that are clearly labelled as limited time only will be of such nature. Moving on, let us now take a look at the return on investment data for the first wave of tradable items from the Armory Pass. Data is courtesy of CSROI. Please do visit the website if you want the most up-to-date data. Now, everything except the heat-treated Desert Eagle has yielded positive return on average. The character craft stickers top the chart with a 244.9% return on investment, whereas the most popular sports and field collection only gives 112.3%. The gallery case returns 130% on the redemption of the case itself, but 119.5% on unboxing. I want to point out that all of these return numbers are expected to degrade very quickly, especially following the news confirming that only the Desert Eagle is of limited time. So if you want to sell what you have, do it as soon as possible. Market prices have already stabilized and are on the downward trajectory. Also, the reason for the low price of the Desert Eagle is that there are already 107,000 of them by the time this video is up, and 8.5% are blue gems, so there is a large oversupply despite it being limited time. Last thing before we move on to our normal routine, agents have corrected itself by 10% this week, with second tiered agents getting hit harder than the most popular ones. Things could go either way from here, but I doubt the release of new agents anytime soon. Finally, let's now take a look at our weekly craft idea. There have been a million crafts of the new stickers, but I will just present two of my favorites this week. The first combines an XD sticker with a kawaii sticker on the MP9 Bulldozer. The stickers themselves aren't too expensive, but the MP9 Bulldozer is just under $800 in factory new condition. The second idea is a Chomper sticker layered on the 2014 Katowice iBuyPower. I expect a few rich folks with iBuyPower crafts to do this. Taking a look now at the skins market. The market has been on a roller coaster in the last few weeks. Unfortunately, this week was one which it was down. The portfolio skins I have selected to represent the market has dropped by 4.15% this week. This was largely driven by agent skins again. The market has corrected itself after last week's hype for the update. Moving on to trade volume, on Buff, we did not see volume change too much in the past month. This is also because most of the new items are still in their trade restriction phase. Moving on to CS float volume, we saw volume trending up a little here, although the total value of transactions have remained relatively steady. Thanks again to iTrade.gg for providing this data. I have also included an affiliate link in the pinned comment for some free stickers, although I do want to clarify that this is not a sponsorship. Now, let's break the skin market movements down into categories. Starting off with knives and gloves, we saw a very slight decline here, which is below the market average of a 4.15% decline. Higher tiered weapon skins have experienced much of the same fate, although more items have declined in this area. As aforementioned, agent skins have corrected themselves after last week's 25% rally, although it is worthwhile mentioning, Rixor, which declined by 25% this week, is still up over 100% from over 1 month ago. Last but not least, we saw affordable weapon skins dropping slightly this week. Moving on, player numbers have not really increased from the update. No new players are going to be attracted solely by skins for the most part. Unboxing numbers have actually slightly declined this week. However, I think this is attributable to the collection redemptions, which are not part of these unboxing numbers. Despite the lower unboxing numbers, we saw non-active case prices recover slightly from last week's significant drop. Last week's drop was attributable to people selling cases to fund their past purchases. Active cases, apart from the Kilowatt, which has been affected by the gallery case due to sharing the same knife, have been relatively stable. Let's now take a peek at this week's biggest winners and losers. The top 3 winners have been made up of 2 illiquid skins and the Lim Vision Gold. The Lim Vision Gold has increased in price as Chinese players are starting to craft with the new weapon skins. In the losers, we have 2 agent skins as expected, but also the Nico Gold from Copenhagen. We saw this sticker in the most gained list following G2's win in the Blast Finals. However, they have crashed out of IEM Rio this week without a single win, hence the sticker's price decline. Moving on again to the top trades of the week. The first and third places have been gemstone knives, which is not a surprise. The second place, however, is the perfect knuckled crimson kimonos we saw from the list 2 weeks ago. It traded for about 2000 USD less than the previous sale. The owner must have needed money very quickly for it to change hands again in the span of 2 weeks. Now on to the top trades this week on CS Float. We saw a Titan sticker sale this week, which is getting rarer and rarer. 60,000 USD is probably the fair price for these at the moment. The second and third places have been emerald butterfly knives. In game news this week, there were 2 updates, both of which were mainly just bug fixes. So now let's move on to the pro scene. Last week, FlyQuest became the first Australian team to win a LAN event in like 7 years, which I was quite proud of as an Australian despite it being a T 1.5 event. This week, IEM Rio has been taking place, with Mouz set to face NaVi in the final. Should be a good BO5 between 2 elite teams. One thing did happen that I want to show you though. After NaVi's game against Virtus.pro, the Ukrainian team refused to shake hands with the oligarch-backed Virtus.pro, which I personally think is understandable. Here's a clip.
Interesting to see how Imma and JL both just having a map pop-off.
Conversation being had there from NaVi at the end of the game. Doesn't look like smiles on the face, maybe already addressing some of those mistakes.
Yeah, it looks like a post-mortem.
In other pro scene news, Saw benched Arados and replaced him with Agile for the upcoming major RMR. ENCE made a slew of changes given that they are not playing the RMR. And lastly, Copenhagen Wolves, which used to be a tier 1 team in the early days of Counter-Strike Go featuring players such as Karrigan and Cadian, has made a comeback into competitive Counter-Strike. Overall, we should see less and less team changes as we close in on the major. Please like, share and subscribe, as well as check out my Discord server. On that bombshell, that was all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!